Hello, my name is Michael Ramos, and I have been in the real estate world for, well, my entire life. My family and I have done it all and seen more from real estate sales, construction, and property inspections. And in all this time, what fascinates me the most about this industry are the people and how they changed their dreams into realty success.
This program is brought to you by City Home Inspectors, your one-stop shop for all your home inspection needs.
All right, hello everybody, and thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of From Dreams to Realty Success, where we share inspiring stories of the top achievers in the real estate industry. Today we have Tanya Diaz.
Hello.
Tanya Diaz is a managing broker and owner of Main Event Realty and has been licensed for 9 years. She's known for her work with multiple agents, and she also mentioned that she's not only licensed for 9 years, but she did have a little bit of a history before she had to do some career changes, but she had came back. Main Event is coming up there. It's pretty known. I actually drive past your grand location all the time because I have family right there in Elmwood Park, so I'm always passing you guys up.
We're in a good spot right now. I love it.
Is that your only location at the moment?
It is. So we actually started off in Portage Park, and then we outgrew that office, and we just needed something with a little bit more parking space, and so we found that location, and I had just been eyeing it. It was vacant for a while, and here we are now. We opened up in September over there. So,
it used to be a barbershop.
Yes, and it's funny, right?
Yeah,
because I did my research. The barbershop's actually now right across the street. So I called the barbershop and just, got a little bit more information on it, and we knew that's where we wanted to be at. And so we've been there since September. And Main Event's been around now almost 4 years.
Wow, congratulations. Any thoughts of any more locations, or you guys are happy where you're at for now?
I'm really happy where we're at right now. Maybe in the future. It's definitely not something, I'm ruling out. But yeah, there's always a possibility.
Awesome. Yeah. So how many agents do you have there now?
We're 14. There's 14 of us. 14, and it's funny because I always say, like, when I started Main Event Real Estate, it was just going to be, my husband and I, and we actually just started getting some phone calls, and some friends ended up just joining the team, and we grew to 14. I haven't really recruited. I like what we have. We're small, but
that's awesome.
Mighty.
Right. Yeah, because, it's more of a tight-knit group. It becomes more of a family, so people start working together. Once it gets, blown up, and then people get lost in translation and stuff, for sure.
So
I'm sure that
is what I say.
For sure. Yeah, makes sense. So what were you doing before you even got into real estate?
So I was just working part-time. I was working, doing some accounts payable for a hospital. But I was really supporting my husband. David used to fight. He went to the Olympics in '96 and former world champion. And so I like to say I was part of his team, kind of just holding down the fort at home while he was training, putting in a lot of hours, traveling. So that's what I was pretty much doing. And then raising the kids. And once the kids started getting a little older, I realized I missed real estate because, as you mentioned, I had my license in '02. And I started missing real estate. And so I wanted to get back into it. David had retired. He had retired in 2011. So 2013, I said it was time for me. And it's exactly what I did.
Awesome. And then is David also licensed realtor?
Yes. So I like to say I inspired him. He joined maybe a year after I did in 2013. Actually, funny story. He was licensed back in 02, 03 when I first got licensed, because he was like, whenever I had some showings in some, not so great areas, he would always come with me. So he was like, this is pretty easy. I can do this. I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. I was surprised he did. He passed the test, but he never sold a home. He was, obviously, boxing was so busy for him, but I think it was just a little challenge he wanted to do. And so he did it. Now he's back in it, and he's doing great.
That's funny. That's funny because like my mom, she would do that too. Wherever she was in a bad neighborhood, she would bring me and my brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So she would bring damn, she didn't have an Olympic boxer. So I'm pretty sure that your odds were a lot better than
I'm
yours.
Sure Yeah, no, it was nice having him, and it's nice having him to work alongside him. Honestly, it really is. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So that kind of gets me to the name of the company, Main Event Realty. Can
Real
you? I
estate.
love the
So
name.
it's main event
Real
real estate.
estate, Main Event Real Estate. So do you want to let me know what was the reason why you guys decided on that name?
Yeah. So when I decided on opening up the office, I was like, I knew that I was something that I wanted to tie in with David's, previous career. Um,
Hmm.
and I remember I was at my son's baseball game or his practice. I can't remember. And I just started like throwing out names, and I started thinking about like, man, what do I want to call it? What should I name it? And then main event came up, and I said, well, when you're boxing, you always want to be the main event. And when you're buying or selling real estate, it's a main event, like in your lifestyle, in your life. It's a big
Yeah,
milestone. So I called David and I told him, I was like, hey, what do you think about main event real estate? He's like, I like it. And so we ended up going with it. Here we are.
nice.
And if you look at our logo, it's kind of like, it looks like a little boxing ring, but it's like three pillars, three towers, however you want to look
I saw that with the
at it. Yeah,
ropes.
it
Yeah, I
is.
saw that because I had to put it together after my mom kind of told me about, the boxing career and everything like that. So it's like, oh, okay, so that's what that's about. Because I mean, what is it? Like I thought it was like a fence or something,
Yeah.
but I was like, that's a really clever way of throwing it in
Yeah.
there.
And a lot of
Um,
people always ask. It's a good talking point, our logo.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, and then so like I was kind of like doing my research, so I was kind of reading your company bio and everything. And the last sentence that I read was, "We never forget you are the main event."
Absolutely.
So it must be like a letter to your clients. Can you kind of just explain what that sentence means to you and your
Yeah, I
company?
think it's really important to make sure that you're not just a transactional realtor. If you want to be in this career, or make it a career and be here for a long time, it's really important to build a relationship with your clients. And so we never want our clients to feel like it's one and done. We want to be here for you. We want to be a part of your family events. We want to be that family realtor that you go to or that you refer. And so I think it's just really important that people understand that they really are the main event in the transaction, in purchasing or selling. So that's what we meant.
That's awesome.
Hmm.
Yeah, I just read that. I was like, oh, I have to throw that in
Thanks.
somehow. I was like, oh, that's a great like way to end it. Because there are agents like that. That is like it's a purchase. There's the difference between a salesman and and a partner. A
Absolutely.
sales partner. So someone that's actually going to be looking out for you and your needs is really important in this. Because I always tell people this is the most important purchase of your life. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? If not the most important purchase. So, you got to make sure that your team is really does have your best interest at heart
Yeah, and
for
that
sure.
you're there for them and you're, not going to let them go. It's scary. And so you really want to make sure that you're explaining everything to them and just so that way they don't feel like they're alone. So that's the one thing
Right.
that I do take a lot of pride in. And it's not just myself, it's not just David, but our whole team. So
Hmm.
something we really take a lot
Okay.
of pride in.
That's great. So, I wanted to get into something like when you first started, right? Were there any failures or any hiccups that you went through at the beginning that taught you some valuable lessons as you went through?
Yeah, I think that's with everything, right, in life. But
Right.
those are good. Those are like you want that, and I mean you don't want it, but when it comes, it's a good learning experience. Well, I would have to say for me, it's obviously like when I got back into real estate from '02 and then getting back in 2013, I was like, what's a short sale? Because everything that was coming up was like short sales, or I mean, there was a lot that changed in those 11 years. So that alone was a learning experience for me. Um, Trusting people, right? Like I would, I know I had said I had David, he would come with me on some showings and stuff, but you also have to really realize that as beautiful as real estate is, it's also very dangerous, and I had some really scary moments too. Um, but, from teaching myself how to rewrite a contract again, I don't know, I think those are all just learning experiences that I did learn a lot from, and I'm passing on now. I'm able to pass on now as a trainer, a mentor, a managing broker. So I think everything that I've failed on or messed up on, I've definitely grown from it. I think it's really important to do. You have to.
Yeah, yeah, I could agree with that for sure. I mean, if you're only succeeding, then maybe there's something wrong.
Right? Yeah,
You know?
yeah. And or
Yeah,
are you
there's no
lying
other way
about
to
it?
learn.
You know?
Yeah, you're lying about it for sure.
Yeah.
So, okay, then I want to kind of pivot now, and I want to get to what was one of your major successes. What is like one sale or one transaction that you absolutely knocked out of the park?
Whew. Let's see. Say that's a tricky one. That's a good one. I think they're all really important to me, and I would have to say whenever there's been an issue with a deal going south, or my client having second doubts, or not knowing which route to take. I think that's probably the most, I don't know, I guess successful ones are the ones that you can overcome, really, or when you think that
Hmm.
it's not going to happen, and that's why it's important to surround yourself with a really good team, because it's not just me, but my lender that I'm working with, our inspectors that we work with, like it's everybody. It takes a team, but there's nothing that really stands out. They all are pretty important to me.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So, kind of want to get back into the whole the boxing thing. So, I know you said that your husband was an Olympian and everything, and that's kind of why you had to stop your real estate. Can you tell us, like, were you on the road with him, or you said you were more at home?
Yeah, no, I was more behind. I was always behind the scenes, even down to like fight night. I was never in the locker room with him. I never followed him out into the ring. I just kind of always felt like that was his moment. I didn't need to be there. I knew where I was. I knew where I stood in his life, and I knew. I don't know. It kind of sounds corny, or kind of sounds weird, but I knew my place, right? And it was there to be, support him as a wife. So yeah, I was never in the ring. I don't know, I was just always on the sidelines for him. But for me, it was being a member of his team as far as like when he would come back. I would never travel with him, because when you're that focused on a fight, you need to be away from all, you have to make sacrifices, be away from everybody that you love, your friends, the partying, like everything. And so I was always at home while he was away at fight camps or training camps. And I was at home with the kids raising our boys. So for me, that was, I guess, my role, just kind of staying home and making sure that everything at home was good and we were okay.
So you wouldn't be in the stands when he was fighting.
In the
Like that
stands,
was
I
still
would
out of
be.
the.
Yeah, yeah. No, I was there.
Yeah.
I had my front row seat, and I was there watching
Uh
the
huh.
fights, but I would never like go into the ring. The only time I did go in the ring was actually his very last fight, and that was in 2011. And David and I, we've been together 20 years already, going on 19, married. But in all those years of fighting and us together, there was only that one time that I got in the ring, and that was his last fight. He was winning that fight. He ended up getting a gash like over his eye, and so all the blood, he couldn't see too good, and he got knocked out by a punch. And he just like laid flat, and so I got like so scared. I ended up going in there, and again, that was the only time I got in the ring, but it was rewarding, but it was nerve wracking at the same time.
I bet.
Hmm.
Yeah, just seeing your man get smashed in the face by
Yeah.
another
Oh my
Olympian.
God. Tough
Yeah.
fights. That's some tough fights. I mean, when you lose to Manny Pacquiao, one, you know that you made it, and two, you know that it's not going to be an easy battle. But,
For sure. That's crazy. That's an amazing story.
yeah,
So what is it like? Because you guys own this together,
right.
correct? So what is it like managing a brokerage with your Olympian husband?
So it's fun, right? It's good, right? But it's funny because we kind of, well, one, we already know what it was like to work together as a team. So I think that kind of actually helped us carry that over into our real estate. But we both go to work, right? So he's already at the office. I'll go to the office in a little bit. But we take separate cars. We kind of treat it like, he's got his schedule. I have my schedule still. Some days I work, from home, or we vice versa. But we know what it takes to work, and it actually doesn't just start with the boxing, but our marriage, to say 20 years together, that alone is a lot of work, so I think that it's really
For sure.
important that you have to have, communication, marriage, life, work. So I'm just glad it works.
That's
But
amazing.
he
Yeah, I
knows
know.
that I'm still the boss, though.
So yeah, that's all he needs to know. Um, that's I mean that's how it works over here too at my job. Like the mom's the
That's
boss.
it.
And that's just the way it is.
If you guys acknowledge that and know that, you guys will be good.
Uh-huh. So it's funny because I had another couple a couple weeks ago, and they own and manage another brokerage, kind of like yours, smaller shop. And they said that the trick is that they don't talk shop at home.
Yeah. Oh,
So do you guys do that? Do you guys
we
talk shop at
do.
home? It's got to be impossible not to.
Exactly. I mean, and it's anywhere, even at the baseball field, anywhere we go, somebody's always asking real estate. We're always together. But yeah, even at home, though, honestly, like we have to learn to shut it off. It's impossible
Hmm.
to not talk about it, at least on our end, because I don't know, our phone's always constantly ringing. Um,
Yeah.
but there's times where I'm just like, let's talk about this tomorrow. And same thing with him too. You have to
Hmm.
know when to, if I don't know, just be present in the moment. If you're at dinner, enjoy each other's company. Talk about work a little later. But I
Hmm.
get that. I get that.
Yeah, I have that issue too. Like, I'll go to friends' houses for dinner, and I'll be looking around, like, "Hey, you need some Migros windows down here," and they're like, "Mike, I'm gonna make you leave. Don't."
Oh, that's
Like,
funny.
I'm sorry, I can't turn it off.
It's so true. It's so hard.
It is. Or you'll see a house that has a for sale sign. You're like, who's selling that
Yes,
house? You
yeah.
got to know who's doing.
Especially if it's on your block or somewhere in your neighborhood, you're
Uh
like, why
huh.
isn't that my sign?
Right.
Yeah.
Or if you know them, like, wait a minute, why?
Yeah, even though sometimes it's better, it's okay. Sometimes it's okay not
Uh
to work
huh.
with family or friends.
Hmm. Right. Okay. So like, I kind of want to get to my next one
Yeah.
now. What are some of the things that you absolutely love about being in the real estate game?
I love one, of course it's helping people. I love the fact that we work with a lot of first time home buyers, and the fact that they are at a point they're about to receive their keys, or they're receiving their keys, and they thought, like, for a lot of people, they don't even think that it's ever going to happen, especially our I-10 clients. They really never think that it's going to happen for them, but they're the hardest workers. It's just, I don't know, it's just really, really, really rewarding to see when someone has the keys to their home who thought it was impossible. So for me, it's that. It's seeing my agents, seeing our team grow, within their transactions, just them as a bit their own business, and seeing them how they're growing. Like, that's just rewarding to me. And
Hmm.
then two, it's working with everybody. Like, I have some pretty amazing peers, in this industry. It's a fun industry to be a part of.
Right.
But yeah, I think to me that's a big deal.
Yeah, I always say that the thing that I love about being in the real estate world as a whole is it's never consistent.
Oh, it's not.
It's constantly changing. Every client, every property, every day is different.
It's a learning
So
experience.
it definitely keeps you on your toes. So there's never like the same stuff every single
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
You know.
Which is great. I think you always have to continue learning. You always have to keep learning. It doesn't matter where you're at in your career. Learn, learn, learn. That's what I tell new agents too, and I prepare them for that too. Like, every transaction is completely different. There's transactions that I'm still working on that I'm learning something new on, and it's just I don't know, it's definitely a learning experience.
For sure. Okay, cool. And then you kind of touched on my next question. I was gonna say, what would be some advice you have for future real estate agents?
Yeah, never stop learning. Never stop learning. Keep hustling. Stay consistent. Stay true to yourself. Um, and know your priorities. I feel like a lot of us in this industry really get caught up with glamorizing work, glamorizing, the hustle, which is great, right? Because you need to hustle, you need to work. But at the same time, too, it's really important to know who you are, as especially if you have a family. I think that it's really important to kind of set boundaries with work and with your personal life. Make time for yourself. You can still be super successful, with having time for yourself and spending time with family and friends. For me, family is everything. Like, it's everything to me. So I try to. I learned, because for a while too, it was just constant like work, and even though it's still a lot of work, but now I know that, I have to make time for my family.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Mhm.
And then, so kind of want to get into if a new agent is looking for a brokerage, right?
Mhm.
And Main Event comes up on their list. Can you tell us some of the benefits of working with Main Event
Yeah, I would
or
say
working
it
for
would
Main Event?
be more, again, this goes back to kind of like quality over quantity. The fact that we're a small group, they have that one-on-one time. I like to give them one-on-one time. And then just really, I'm accessible. And you can ask anybody on our team, if they're calling or they're texting. If I don't answer right away, I'm definitely going to get back to them right away. It's the same thing with any of my clients, with our team too. I don't want anybody to feel like they're alone. I want to make sure that if they have any questions, that I'm there to answer, and I want to make sure that they're learning because it's a reflection off of me and Main Event, my husband, and so.
For sure. Do they also get free boxing lessons?
Hey, they're fighters. Our team, they need boxing lessons.
That'd be a good seminar. Hey, like how to steal off the lender when he,
How to knock out another realtor to win the deal.
Right, yeah.
I'm just kidding, guys.
All right. So that kind of gets into my last one now. Besides real estate, is there anything else you're super passionate about?
Oh gosh, my kids and baseball. I'm such a baseball mom. I'm a big baseball mom. My boys, I have three boys. They're 13, 15, 17. And my two
Oh
older
wow.
ones play travel ball and they play high school ball. Um, and just kind of seeing what they're doing, what they've been up to is it's really a passion for me. And then of course, aside from, I love taking pictures. I love photography. And I like doing that like on the side, family events and baby showers and just as a hobby. I do it just as a hobby and taking
Mhm.
pictures of my kids, even though they don't like it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And whenever I have a chance, I like to read.
Uh-huh.
Latinas in real estate. This is my current read for the third time. If you don't know, I'm in it. And your
Uh-huh.
mama too. This
Right.
year has been it was an amazing project led by Maggie Antion. And it's something that I'm really passionate about too. She actually opened up a little passion of mine, which was writing. It's not easy to write, but it's rewarding. And so here it is in print. So it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, so that's funny too because ever since I started doing this podcasting, I've been doing a lot more writing because I have to do my
Right.
research and you guys and kind of make sure that I'm doing my intro correctly and everything. So it is funny like how it awakens things, how things that you wouldn't, because I know you didn't expect to be in a book.
No.
What she announced it last
Yeah.
year when, because I
Yeah.
remember, yeah. And that event that you guys did was amazing.
Thank you.
I was there front row
Yeah, it was
with
awesome. They
all
did
your
a good job
stories.
putting that together.
Yeah, it was a great event. And then yeah, so the book is amazing. Latinas in real estate.
Yes.
How many different women are in that book?
I believe there's 15 of us. 15.
Yeah, so 15 stories of 15 successful Latina women in real estate, all in this book. It's a good one to pick up. It's on Amazon, I
Yes.
believe, and we'll put a link to it in
Thank you.
the description for this video if anybody wants to check it out. Tanya's in it, my mom's in it, and a couple other women from this podcast are in it as well. So I'm trying to get all those inspiring stories in this podcast for sure.
That's
So
awesome. That's awesome. Thank you. We
mhm,
appreciate it.
no problem. So okay, so then from here, I'm gonna ask you if you want to go ahead and tell everybody what's the best way to contact you if they wanted to hire your services in the future.
Yeah, you can, we're located, our office is located in the Montclair neighborhood, just east of Elmwood Park. We're at 7151 West Grand Avenue. You can find me on Facebook, Tanya Quinones Diaz, or you can feel free to give me a call, 773-851-1570.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, yeah. Thank you again, Tanya, for coming on in and speaking with us today. I really do appreciate your time and your energy here. This is a good one. So again, thank you.
Thanks, Michael.
This is Dreams to Realty Success. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We're here with Tanya Diaz once again. Thank you, Tanya. You enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks for having me. You too. Bye-bye.